Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Phoebe. Today, I thought we would do a little deep dive into my Pinterest board. I've been getting some comments asking if I have a Pinterest because people want to see what I've been pinning on my fashion board. And I talk a lot on this channel about using Pinterest for inspiration and the fact that I'm trying to stray away from being tempted to recreate Pinterest outfits completely. I feel like when I started getting really into fashion in this most recent era, a couple years ago, I was a big Pinterest girl and I found it so tempting to make a Pinterest board of what I wanted my style to be and then literally go and find as many of those exact pieces as possible to make my wardrobe, and then I thought all would be solved and I would have my style down. But now I like to kind of act more like a creative and like an artist when it comes to fashion, which sounds so pretentious, but I have been trying to kind of think for myself more and use Pinterest as what it's supposed to be used for, which is inspiration, not something to copy, especially because of all the various things that you can get frustrated with if you try to copy an outfit exactly. All of these people on Pinterest, 95% of them are supermodel, all kind of very similar body types, etc. So I feel like there's so much room for disappointment when you completely recreate an outfit versus when you take inspiration. And I thought today we would do a deep dive of all of the outfits I've pinned over the last month-ish and kind of dissect each one and figure out what I liked about each one, what I liked about the styling, why I pinned it, even maybe what I liked about the photo that drew me towards it and made me like the outfit, the way the person's posing, what they're doing, what environment they're in, and obviously the pieces themselves and how they're styled. And I thought we could kind of get to the bottom of what styling concepts I'm actually drawn towards in these outfits, and we can just kind of break them down to draw inspiration so that you can kind of get an idea of how I'm trying to think about inspiration in Pinterest at the moment, and you can maybe take inspiration to do the same thing yourself with the things that you pin. Really figure out what elements about each outfit actually drew you towards them so that you can take those elements, those styling concepts as inspiration rather than the outfit itself. You get what I'm saying. I tend to ramble in the intros and I feel like you know what I've been saying. Okay, let's just jump right into my Pinterest board. My board is called Clothing, very creative. My username on Pinterest is Phoebe Taylor B. So no underscores, nothing. If you want to find me, it's just at PHOEBETAYLORB. So let's just start with the most recent and we'll just arrow. This is one of those things that I've pinned because I have a couple similar pieces. So I thought it would just be fun to play with them in a way that she played with them. I love her pants. I have pants very similar to this that you might have seen if you've watched me for a little bit. I have low rise, kind of they're not as cargo-ish as hers are. They're more khaki vibes, but they're the same exact color as hers. And I have my little white pointed toe flats that she's wearing. As you know, I have been obsessed with black and white stripes recently, and I love her top. I absolutely love it. I've always loved that neckline. I think that I love it because my mom always wears necklines like that, and it makes me think of her, and I think she just is so classy and beautiful. And so anything that reminds me of things that I am used to seeing on my mom, I'm very drawn towards. I love this one. I also just love that it's all very neutral, but also has so much visual interest with the texture mixing of the cargo pants with the just classic cotton white top with the little, I don't know if you'd call that a cowl neck. It's more of a turtleneck halter, I suppose. Everything she's wearing is a neutral, but nothing is really a basic, if that makes sense. This one I pinned. I don't really have anything similar to what she's wearing, but I pinned this because I love the colors. I'm really into that kind of cobalt blue color for fall. And I feel like whenever I shop for fall pieces, I tend to kind of forget about those sweaters that are thinner and not fitted, but not super balloony. Anytime I think I need to get more warm clothing for fall, I think of basic long sleeve shirts, just cotton long sleeves, and I think of oversized sweaters. I tend to forget that these more just feminine, thin, kind of cropped, just thin cashmere, loose but not oversized, bubbly thick sweaters exist, and I love how they look, and I just don't have any, and I just wanted to pin this to remind myself that I think they're really beautiful and understated. This one I pinned, it actually kind of reminds me of a outfit I recreated in my recreating iconic outfits from the 90s video. It was a very similar outfit. That one was more like cream colored, and this one has like a little bit of a green undertone in the beiges, and I think it is so beautiful. Again, I'm really inspired by that deep V with a white tee underneath, because I feel like I never intuitively would style a white tee with an off-white sweater, because you're just like so used to being taught that like colors that are similar to each other clash, even though they work really well together. Like everyone's getting on board with black and brown together, navy and brown, navy and black, etc. And I'm loving beige and white together. I also just love monochromatic outfits in general. And the main thing that really stood out to me in this outfit was the pants, because I feel like most 2024 trendy outfits would have kind of looser pants. I don't see a lot of fitted bootcut pants anymore, and that's something that I absolutely love and have always loved, whether they're in or out of trend. I was using a different camera that was fully charged, and it literally died within 9 minutes, so I'm going back to my trustworthy camera and we will continue on. And I absolutely just love the fit of the pants. I think that they're so, dare I say, timeless and classy. No notes on the bag and shoes. I feel like those are extremely popular styles at the moment. This one I pinned because the boots, they're just so like 2012 chic to me, and I love them. And I feel like every time we see kind of a blast from the past trend, it tends to be from the 90s or early 2000s. And I feel like this is an example of something that could come back that is from the 2010s. I'm obsessed with it. I love the length of her shorts with the height of her boots. I have been really into like a mid-calf boot like that. I don't have any, but I would love to find some. My boots that I have are kind of like knee-high boots, all of them, and I have pretty short legs, so they truly do come to the knee. But I love how this looks, and I love how it hits her calf. Like I love a mid-calf boot that hits like the lower part of your calf muscle. That sounds so freaking weird, but I just love the lines in this outfit. They're kind of unexpected. I love the color of her sweater, so simple. I also pinned it because I was just really drawn to her super light blonde hair and her darker features, like her darker eyebrows and eyes, which, you know, isn't something I'm gonna like go for personally. It's not so much inspiration as it is just like that just caught my eye. I feel like the coloring of her hair, her features, and that outfit just so effortless and beautiful. I just really wanted to remember the boots because it's really a blast from the past and it's giving. And I believe they're hidden wedges, which I talked about in my fall trend predictions video. Would love to get my hands on a pair of hidden wedge boots. This outfit I pinned because I've been really into big silver jewelry like this, kind of like beachy grandma silver jewelry I've talked about before. Absolutely love. And I also love the cut of her shirt. Again, if I just have to like come up with pieces that I want in my head, if I'm thinking summer, I'm thinking like tube top, tank top. I kind of forget other like loose pieces and loose cuts that are still so summery and so delicate. Like that is a fancy, flattering top. And if I'm like wanting to show off my like décolletage and look really feminine, I feel like I usually just go for a tank top. But I love this open neckline and I love how it looks with that necklace. This jacket I pinned just because the construction of it looks so beautiful. I love the clasps on it. I love a little leather jacket / bomber type jacket that's this length, not cropped, not long, just like equally as long as it is wide kind of thing. A little bit boxy. I absolutely love it, but it looks super worn. And I know you won't see this when it's on, but I love the color of the inside lining of it. This one I pinned because it's just a really simple, accessible example of styling. I don't usually love a Chelsea boot on myself, but I love how this looks. I love her bag. The other reason I pinned this, admittedly, is because I love the type on it, and I love how they manipulated the color of the type to go from black to white as it crosses over to her sweater. This was like kind of a half fashion, half graphic design pin. I love print design. I'm like always so drawn to outfits when they're on like an old print ad or print magazine. I love this one. Just simple, not much to say about it. This Jennifer Aniston pin, I always find myself pinning Jennifer Aniston outfits because they're so simple. I feel like my style is the epitome of like simple and accessible, but also intentional as well. She is the queen of wearing things that fit her really well and flatter her well, but that are really understated and simple simple. And she just has a perfect fitting pair of jeans with a white tank top. Can't go wrong. And I love the size of her bag and I love the stitching on it. Beautiful color. Watch, sunglasses, so simple. I like to pin these outfits just to remind myself that like you don't always have to do the most to have a good outfit. This is a literal screen grab from Friends. I'm a big Friends girl, always inspired by the outfits that they're styled in. This one in particular though, I always stop and stare at this shirt anytime I see this episode, which is kind of a lot. I've seen Friends probably like 15 times through, if not more. But this top just reminds me of something I would have been obsessed with when I was 10 years old. I loved brown when I was little. I loved wearing brown, especially like beige and brown, blue and brown, pink and brown. I loved brown and I always got made fun of for it because when I was little, I was asked my favorite color and I said brown and everybody laughed. And then I suppressed that part of my style for a few years, but I am back in my brown era, as a lot of people are. But tie-dye specifically, a tie-dye, I don't know if you would call what she's wearing a baby tee because it's not cropped, but it has those baby tee sleeves, like fitted short sleeves, and it's a fitted tee, but it is full length. I just want this shirt so bad, and I could go on about it. I don't know why the blue and brown tie-dye just gives, and I think the reason that it gives is because it reminds me of when I was little and went to a dude ranch in the summers and rode horses. I was a full-blown horse girl in the summers of my youth. The ranch had t-shirts that were tie-dye, like brown tie-dye, just like this, and I was obsessed with mine. And so I just want this shirt so bad so that I can live out my horse girl memories in it and style it in a grown-up way. This outfit I love. As I said, I am really into 3/4 sleeves right now. I want to find one so badly. I love just the most simple version of a long sleeve you can find. The neckline is like nothing specific. It's like not a super wide boat neck, but it's not like crew neck. It's just like a simple white cotton tee. It doesn't look ribbed. If it is, the ribbing is very small. I just like a piece that has like nothing notable about it. Do you know what I mean? Like that to me makes the perfect basic, is when there's nothing notable about it. I hate when a basic tries to be super trendy in a way or tries to be like a quote elevated basic. I like just a well-fitted, simple basic that is literally nothing to write home about. I love the length of this top. It's not extra long. It's not cropped. I love the sleeves. They're 3/4 sleeves, which is like a very classic cut, especially like if you look back at 90s, early 2000s fashion. That's like the only notable thing about it is the sleeve length. I just love a piece that you can't say much about because it's just like perfection in what it is. I love that she styled them with loose pants that she's wearing low-waisted. Again, I love that the pants aren't a perfect white like the top is. I like that it's a slightly different tone than the top, and I love the color of her boots. I love just like staring at an outfit I like and figuring out what it is about that outfit that I maybe wouldn't have thought of on my own. And I feel like if I wanted a pair of like rubber rain boots or whatever, I would never think to get gray. I don't know why. I just wouldn't. My mind would go to black or brown or like army green or something. Like I would never think of gray, but I love how it looks with what she's wearing. I also love her stacked bracelets and I love smaller sunglasses like that. This one, I love the blue and gray together. I love the fit of that tank top. Again, it's like not fitted, but not oversized. It's just like a nice, simple basic that like you can't comment on. There's nothing unique about it, but that's what makes it like perfect in my eyes. And I love the tone of gray of that skirt. I feel like a lot of long gray skirts I see, especially when I'm in like more kind of fast fashion places like the mall or whatever, it's like a t-shirt gray, and that just doesn't give as much as this mid to dark gray that is like not textured at all. I love that it's full length. I love that it's a mid-rise. And the thing that I would not have thought to put in this outfit is the bag that she's carrying. I would never think to add a green bag to an outfit like this. I feel like if I were wearing that top and skirt, I would grab a brown bag or a beige bag. Never a green one, but it is beautiful. And I usually don't like super structured little purses like that. I like my purses to look a little bit more worn and vintage and therefore kind of less structured because they're worn. But I love how this looks. And I like, as I said, looking deeper into these outfits and challenging my own opinions on fashion and challenging my own like instincts against my own like first instincts kind of overriding limiting beliefs that I have when it comes to styling. I feel like this just inspires me to think outside the box more and not always follow like the rules that I have made up in my head that everything has to be kind of neutral. Does that make sense? This one I pinned because I love the all brown. Again, I love that the top is a slightly different tone than the pants. Another perfect tank top that there's like, I have no notes on. So simple, but these super simply constructed pieces are always the hardest to find because I feel like every brand wants to do something different, but that makes it so hard to find the really good, really simple ones. Just a classic, well constructed. You can tell it's good quality because it looks kind of thick the way that it's hovering over her chest on her left shoulder. I know I'm being so specific, but the way it's constructed, I can tell it's a good quality, thick top. The V is perfect. It's not too low, it's not too high, it's not like stylized in any way. The length of the top, you can tell, is not cropped or long. It's just perfectly made. These are the kinds of pieces that I wish I could just reach into the computer and grab because I like have such little hope that I can find a piece this simple and this perfectly made out in the real world. Also love her jeans and I love the contrast stitching that you can see on the pocket. Love brown. And I love brown and silver together, always have. It's another combination I've loved since I was little. And her little hair clip with this outfit and little tiny silver hoop earrings, I just love so much. So simple, but I have so much to say about it. This one I loved because it's giving skinny jeans and it's giving Tyra Collette from Friday Night Lights, like just classic, would have been seen as trashy, but like kind of really chic in a way, low-waisted tight jeans with a big belt. And I just love the red. I love her tank top and her hat together. Her bag's beautiful. Just an interesting outfit. An outfit that I don't really know if I would even want to wear myself, but sometimes I like to pin things just to remember them. Like if they caught my eye and I just don't want them to disappear into the abyss, I'll pin them just to have them to look at. And this is one of those outfits that I don't necessarily think would fit into my personal style per se, but I just found it captivating. This outfit I absolutely love. It's another example of pairing that shade of green or teal bag with a blue outfit that I just would not have thought of because I just don't think that creatively and I want to. I love that top. It's a top that you could really easily find in the men's section of a thrift store. If you've got some baggy dark jeans, which I do have, and she's wearing it over a bikini top, it kind of looks like. And since I'm moving back towards the beach, that is a perfect outfit that can really easily be kind of recreated, but in your own way. If you find any sort of striped or checkered or plaid button up from the men's section of the thrift, throw it over a loose pair of jeans, add a bag, wear it over a bathing suit, add some sandals. Easy outfit formula. Not much to say about this one. Absolutely loved the hair clip. That's literally all. I have like a kind of similar hair color in the summer when my hair gets lighter, so it was just one of those things that I was like, I could see myself wearing a hair clip like this. Where can I find one? I have absolutely no idea, but I just had to save it. Another one I don't have a ton to say about. I just love these shoes. They look so worn. I love the tone and the color of them. Another brown thing. I'm just drawn to brown. I also, as I said, I'm loving stripes at the moment, specifically black and white. This isn't black and white, but the top is like black and beige stripe and then the socks are beige and white. And I just love that really subtle version of pattern mixing where you're mixing the same pattern, but subtly, and just like the direction of the stripes are different and the colors are slightly different, but the outfit itself is still so cohesive. The pattern mixing in this case like doesn't break it up at all. It's all still like one very harmonious, simple outfit. And I just like that. Another thing that I just like don't think to do on my own unless I see an example of it first and then like really try to hammer into my head that I want to play around with something like that. This one I pinned because I am obsessed with the top. Absolutely obsessed. I love the color of it. I love the cut of it. This one is definitely like more unique because of the bottom hem of it. It kind of is giving like when you used to tie a bandana around your chest as like a tube top and it would hang down in a triangle, but in a really simply constructed top. Again, love the 3/4 sleeves and I love that shade of baby pink. Also love the jeans and I have a similar pair. And I'm recently only just now coming around to wanting a pair of ballet flats. I love hers. I don't know if I would get the kind that she has. It's like a true like ribbon lace up ballet flat because I just feel like I don't like to spend a lot of money on things that I could get sick of. And because it's like so in your face ballet core, I just worry that I would get sick of it. But I would absolutely love this outfit with any pair of flats, and I would maybe just opt for a more simple one. That being said, I don't think the outfit suffers from that kind of shoe. It's just when you're talking about adding a piece to your own wardrobe, I tend to be like a lot more picky, if that makes sense. This one I pinned because the shorts. I am terrified to even try on a pair of shorts like this, but it's another trend that is from the 2010s. Maybe you could argue early 2000s, but I would say 2010s, at least like the era that I wore them were the 2010s. It's giving Abercrombie and Fitch in middle school with that big belt. Like Abercrombie, you bought shorts that were low-waisted, short as hell, and you bought a big brown belt and you wore it with a sweater like that. Like, am I wrong? That is so Abercrombie and Fitch, but so beautiful and chic. And I would just love to play with that. I don't know if I would invest in a pair of shorts like that, but if I maybe came across one at the thrift store, I would love to play with it. And I just love the tones. And the last one I'm going to talk about is this pin. Again, I forget about sweaters that are like this. When I think of a sweater, I automatically just think of like an oversized cable knit sweater, or I just think of like a big men's sweater. I tend to forget about these feminine sweaters that are more fitted. And I think the reason I don't think of them is because they haven't been like trendy, I guess, in a while. And I just love how they look. They're so flattering. I love the colors of this sweater. Colors that I would never pick out myself, but seeing it on someone, gorgeous. Like this is one of those pieces that I feel like if I saw it hanging on a hanger in a store, I almost wouldn't look twice at it. But seeing it on someone, granted, she's a beautiful woman, but seeing it just on someone in general, on like an actual skin tone rather than just like hanging on a hanger, just shows how beautiful it is. And I would never think to pair it with a raspberry colored bag. I also just don't tend to go for bags that have gold hardware because I feel like they look cheap, but you can kind of tell that the gold on this one is a little bit worn because it's not like super bright and shiny, so it makes it look like a more vintage bag. I'm not positive if it is or not. This is just an image that is like very feminine in a way that I haven't explored in a while, if that makes sense, and still confronts me with coloring and styling choices that I just like never would make on my own, but I want to try to start making because it looks so good once it's on. That's everything I've pinned this month. This was a very rambly video. You could probably tell I didn't plan what I was going to say with any of these. I kind of was figuring it out as I went along with you, and it is really fun to kind of notice what my eye actually was drawn towards with each of these, because each of these images, like you just scroll through and it's just like, yeah, pretty, and it's easy to say that, but it's harder to take inspiration without checking back and looking at these outfits all the time to see if you're hitting the nail on the head. I think the best way to get inspiration and carry that inspiration with you without having to consult Pinterest every time you get dressed is to really take the time to figure out what it is that you were drawn to about each of these outfits, what actual styling concepts, what colors, what cuts, what combinations of colors and cuts, what hair they're wearing with that outfit, etc. Then it's much easier to emulate that and take that into your own styling without recreating an outfit head to toe. Let me know if you liked this video. I'm happy to keep doing it every month or every season, just like an updated little Pinterest tour. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to. And with that, I'll see you in a few days with another one. Bye guys.